Are you thinking about buying a home here in Delaware or maybe selling a home here in Delaware and you're just curious of what's going on in the real estate market? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to go over in this video, and I promise after watching, you'll know exactly what's going on in the real estate market here in Delaware, or at least you'll definitely have a headache from going over all the numbers. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Windom, and I help people buy and sell homes here in Delaware. I've lived here my entire life, and on this channel, I talk about what it's like living here in Delaware. And if you're thinking about potentially buying or selling a home here in Delaware, I love to have a conversation to see if it makes sense for us to work together. So I'll put my info on screen now and again in the description below. So I know data and numbers are boring, but I'm gonna try my best in this video to break them all down while not boring you to death. And all this data is gonna be from the spring market here in Delaware. So starting April to June, right when the real estate market is actually starting to come to life and actually get a nice roll. So let's get right into it. It's only right that we start at the top of the state, which is gonna be Newcastle County. This is where majority of our population resides, and it's very popular for people who maybe commute to work in one of the adjacent states, or maybe people who just want to be close to their families in states like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or Maryland. And I'm also seeing people wanting to be here just to get away from some of the affordability issues you see in some of those states as well. So let me say, before we get into the numbers, all these numbers kind of don't mean anything unless you have something to compare it to. I'm actually going to go over the numbers from quarter two in 2023 as well, so you kind of have some perspective of what type of the way the market is trending here in Delaware. So the very first number, and probably the most important, is going to be the median sale price. So back in 2023, that median sale price was right around $336,000, and as of 2024, that's actually increased to $364,500, which is about an 8.4% increase. Next, we got homes for sale, which is a very important number because obviously we need homes to come to the market. So back in 2023, that number in Newcastle County was 688 houses that came on the market during quarter two. And in 2024, that number is actually dropped to 652. So it's about a 6.3% decrease. Next is how many of those homes actually closed. So back in 2023, it looks like it was 1,472 homes closed. And then in 2024, that number actually went up to 1,500. So it was about a 2% increase. The next number that I want to go over here is going to be months of supply. And that's important because in a balanced market, they say the months of supply should be right around 6. So back in 2023, the months of supply was 1.4, so a little over a month and a half, and that number hasn't changed at all into 2024. And then lastly, the other number that I want to go over here is the days on market. So that's how long the property actually stayed on market until it actually got an offer. So right there in 2023, that number was 22 days on market. And as of 2024, that's actually increased to 28 days on market. So about a 28% increase. So overall in Newcastle County, the numbers you want to see drop hasn't. I mean, we've seen some, more days on market, which is good because that means the houses are staying longer, so you don't have to grab them right away. But other than that, there really hasn't been any other factors that's good news for buyers anyway. Everything is just going up. So with that being said, I'll actually put an infographic on screen here that shows some of the other numbers. So I'll put that up right now for Newcastle County. And after that, let's move right on to Kent County. So let's hop on down to Kent County. That's going to be right in the middle of the state, and it's home to cities such as Felton, Frederica, Clayton, and Milford. Kent County is going to be our least populated county in all of Delaware. I mean, it's not hard to do. We only have 3. But I'm seeing this as a great opportunity, even for Delawareans who live in Delaware. They're coming down to Kent to try to get a little bit more bang for their buck. And you tend to see more new homes and more development the further south you go into Delaware. So I'm seeing a lot of people decide to come to Kent for that reason. So we're just going to follow the same thing that we did for Newcastle County. So starting off with the median sales price, back in 2023, the median sales price was right around $313,000, and it's actually jumped again, no surprise, in 2024 to $340,000. So about an 8.3% increase. So right around the same as Newcastle County. Next thing is the homes for sale. So back in 2023 in Q2, there was a total of 503 homes for sale. And in 2024, unfortunately, that number has dropped to 486. So it's about a 3.4% decrease. Now, how many of those homes have actually closed, right? So we're talking about closed sales in 2023. That number was 671. And then we look at 2024, and that number again has dropped to 632. So about a 5.8% decrease. So that's actually a good thing for buyers, because that means all the homes aren't getting bought. Not as many homes are getting bought. So therefore it means we're probably going to see the market, the days on inventory go up and the months of inventory go up as well. So the next one is months of supply. And it looks like back in 2023, there was about 2.4 months of supply. And in 2024, that number has actually grown to 2.6. So it's actually getting closer. As a buyer, that's a number you actually want to see increase. So it's been about an 8.3% increase. And then lastly, the days on market in 2023, it was 34 days. And as of 2024, looks like we got a bit of dyslexia here, that it actually flipped to 43. So it's about a 25.1% increase, which again is a good sign for buyers, because as those numbers increase, those as a buyer, those are the numbers you want to see increase, because that means you're going to have a little bit more time to look at the homes. And it means that most of the sellers, since they are lasting longer, are probably going to be a little bit more negotiable. And again, I have the same infographic for Newcastle County with some extra numbers on there as well. So I'll put that up right now so you can look at it. But after that, let's move on down to our third and final county, the biggest of all the counties, and that's Sussex County. So that's going to consist of Delaware's baby, our crown jewels, the beaches. So places like Lewis, Rehoboth, Bethany, and all the surrounding beach towns like Ocean View, Millsboro, Milton, things like that. Again, this Sussex County is going to be ideal for anyone who's maybe looking to retire, or maybe wants a little bit land, or just loves the beaches. We're just going to follow the same suit that we've been doing for all the rest of them. So the first one that we have here is the median sales price. So as of 2023, that median sales price was $449,000. And as of 2024, that's actually jumped to $469,000, and it's about a 4.4% increase. And again, I know these numbers sound ridiculously high for Sussex County, but even with using the median, we have to take into account that, in some of these beach towns, these homes are on average, $500,000 up to $1 million and even more. So that's why you see those big increases. So that doesn't mean it's for the whole state of Sussex. I mean, not the state, the whole county of Sussex, but more so to the east side, close to those beaches. If you want a little bit cheaper land, and where you're going to find the cheaper land is when you head more west, closer to Maryland. The next one we got here is obviously the homes for sale. So in 2023, we had 1,551 homes for sale. And then in 2024, we actually seen that number rise to 1,831, which is about a 17.4% increase. Again, this is good news for buyers, because as those numbers go up, it means there's more inventory. And the reason why we kind of see it, just to kind of give you some context, is that Sussex is so big and they're developing so much that they're building a ton of new construction homes. So, and Sussex is just like, yeah, go ahead, build whatever. We don't care. We know we need homes, just build it. So that's why we see so much more. I mean, they're almost double and triple homes for sale in, Sussex compared to Kent and Newcastle, just because there's so much land and so much developing happening there. The next one is the closed sales. So as in 2023, we saw 1,500 homes close, and in 2024, we saw that number rise a bit to 1,537, which is about a 2.5% increase. It only makes sense. More homes available, more homes are probably going to close. And as far as months of supply goes, in 2023, that number was 3.5 months, so right around 3.5. And as of 2024, we actually saw that number grow, which to 3.9, almost 4 months of inventory. So we're getting very close to that 6 months of inventory, but that was about 11.4% increase. And then the days on market in 2023 was 60. And then we actually saw that number fall a bit in 2024 to 58. And so overall in Sussex, I mean, there's just a ton of development there. So you're going to see a lot of new construction homes, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity to buy homes down there just because they're building so much. And because they're building so much, you might be able to snag a great deal just because there is so much more inventory down there. Now, I know you may be thinking, Brandon, I heard all these numbers. I have a headache now. What exactly do all these numbers mean? So let me break it down, I guess the simplest way I can think of. So for buyers, all these numbers kind of mean is that it's more of the same of what we've been experiencing. There's just not enough homes for sale out there. And because of that, prices are not really doing anything. I mean, interest rates have been higher, so it's kind of halted the buyer demand, but there's still a big demand for homes. And because we don't have that inventory, the prices aren't going to move much. They've just been going up steadily. Not as crazy as it was during the pandemic, but they're still going up because the demand just hasn't been met. But there is some hope if you are in a position to buy right now, since we are seeing those months of inventory and days on market climb up and the amount of homes get a little bit better. Right now, because those are, staying on the market a little bit longer, sellers are coming back to reality and they're going to be willing to negotiate, and you may be able to get some better terms than you could before, and you don't have to make a breakneck decision right then and there because these homes are staying on the market a little bit longer. Sellers, again, it's a lot more of the same for the most part. I mean, if you price your home competitively and somewhat reasonably, chances are you're going to get exactly what you're asking for, and you're going to get it quick. But the only downside to that is that if you do have to buy again in Delaware, you're going to be experiencing the same thing the buyers are experiencing with the higher sales prices, higher interest rates. So it's just something to keep in mind if you do decide, that you want to sell the house for whatever reason. Now, moving forward, as far as what direction the Delaware market is going to go, I mean, I can only speculate. I don't have a crystal ball. From what the data is showing here and what we've been seeing over, the last couple of years, is that I just don't see these prices going anywhere because we just don't have enough inventory. Now, I mean, I could be wrong, but just from, the hard data I see here, there's a big demand, not enough homes. So unless something unforeseeable happens, I just don't see how these prices get much better. I mean, it's a simple supply and demand issue. So we need more supply. So unless there's going to be some sort of mass unemployment or layoffs that cause a bunch of foreclosures or defaults to whereas though we get more foreclosure homes on the market, or unless there's some secret builder that's been building in Delaware unbeknownst to everyone else and they're just going to unleash all this inventory on the market, I just don't see how prices start to come down. Even if interest rates come down, that's just going to bring more buyers to the market, and then you're going to see prices kind of skyrocket again because we just don't have the inventory. I mean, it's all just simple supply and demand, economics 101. The demand is just outpacing the supply until that changes or levels out. I just don't think we're going to see much decreases in the prices. I think they're going to either stay somewhat flat and go up little by little like we've been seeing, or, well, I guess they're just going to either keep going up, little by little, or they're just going to try to stay flat. But I just don't see how the supply issue is being rectified because builders cannot keep up with the demand that we're experiencing here in Delaware. So if this was exactly the info you were looking for and what you needed here in Delaware, and you want to know more about Delaware, I actually made another video right here.